Hey there, good morning. This is your friend Nick here at Nicks-ellaneous ASMR, and I hope you can hear me okay. Let me just check my volume. Okay, the volume is good. I hope you can hear me. I've been using my headphones. I'm out on a walk. You can see. And I don't think I can turn my camera around, but I'm on a nature walk, and I love nature. I love just the sound of feet. Can you hear that? I'm on an asphalt walkway here. Sometimes it's nice just to walk in the leaves, maybe the crackling, since it's fall. It's beautiful. Anyway, I don't want to turn this just into a boring trail walk video, but I want you to be able to see nature. I started my morning exercise walk walking in the street, but I didn't want to. I didn't want just the hustle bustle, even of suburban life, because who doesn't see the street, and who doesn't see pavement every day? I wanted you to experience God's nature. It's kind of a creek over here. I want to be sure, guys, that you can hear this audio. I know it's very soft. I hope it's soothing and relaxing for you. See, I love this nature rocks. It's like a riverbed or a stream bed. It's not totally running, obviously. It's kind of a dead river there. What I'd love to see is maybe a rabbit or a squirrel running up a tree or something. This is not far from my house. It's right in the neighborhood. And I just love how neighborhoods have these trails. Look at these beautiful little tiny things. Looks like little daisies. Just tiny little daisies. I don't have any gloves to pick those up, but I'll go back to the trail. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm going through there's some more daisies. I'm going through a devotional. Let's take a look at these daisies. We'll take a picture of those. There's another bunch of daisies. I also love photography. I like to actually get, there we go, take a still photo. I like to get photos that are kind of from a different perspective or angle as well. Like one time in college, I did a montage of pictures. I did photography in my bachelor's degree. And photography was one of my favorite subjects or parts of my curriculum, part of what I was learning. I learned about lighting. I learned about reflection, to make refracting light, about different lenses, about developing pictures. And so I took one picture where I was going with this. Take a look at these. These little, I don't know if these are irises or what they are. They're beautiful. These little purple flowers. I mean, they're just natural. I love how God puts such beauty in the natural habitat. Yeah, right there. I love how God puts beauty in the natural habitat that man didn't have to lift. The Bible says, consider the lilies. They don't toil, they don't spin. as in spin. Back in the day, the spinning wheel was what was made to make thread and to make clothing. It says they don't work. They don't make their own clothes. They don't labor. And yet, Solomon in all his glory was not dressed as fine as that. I'm hoping that's how the verse goes. I think that's maybe what it is. But it's beautiful how God takes care of everything. And he's put nature and beauty everywhere. And this is actually what I'm talking about. It's part of my devotional. Because I'm reading a devotional today, these past few days. If you've never had the YouVersion Bible, maybe you're not a Bible reader, maybe that's not what you consider to be your faith. Or maybe you're not a person of faith at all. But the good news is God believes in you and me. And this devotional is encouraging me to take every day, read some verses of Scripture, and about my purpose in life. And then it says to do two things that day. One is to pray the Lord's Prayer every day. Not as a tradition or as just a ritual, but pray the Lord's Prayer. I know, our Father who's in heaven, hallowed is your name, holy is your name. And may your kingdom come. Your will be done. God's perfect will, which is good. Many people think God is just an ogre in heaven. But he's a good God. He's a kind and loving God. And he loves us more than he can explain. So to pray that way is a good thing. And to say, Lord, let your will be done. Because there's no violence. There's no conflict in heaven. There's true peace and love and harmony. And so the prayer says, Lord, let that happen here. Let that same will be done here. Just like it is in heaven. Because we know in our world we don't have that. Not everybody is in favor of. Everybody's in conflicting perspectives, and we find it hard to get along and to agree. Ooh, look at these. These are beautiful. Look at those. They look like ferns. Let's take a look. Look at this. Look at these mini ferns. Isn't that pretty? These over here. And they're growing a little wild, I know. Different directions, but they're natural. They're God's beauty. So anyway, this devotional says to pray the Lord's Prayer every day, the end of reading. And then it says, think of 10 things that you can be thankful for. And I know there's a lot of different plans and encouragement, motivational videos on the web that say, be grateful. I've read before, you should be so grateful in the morning that it makes you cry. Cry for joy, of course. That's what you're so grateful for. And so I'm grateful for just everything I just have shown you just now, the beauty and the wonder of God's creation. Just being able to come to you in your home or wherever you are with these videos and be able to encourage you. That's something else I'm grateful for. And, I see something here that might actually, this goes back to the story about photography that I told you about. Okay, so here is what I was talking about earlier. Maybe you can see it if I get down close. You see that pipe there? Okay, so I was remembering when I was in college. Oh my goodness, I just saw a piece of quartz. I love it. It's a beautiful, that is a beautiful piece of quartz. Oh, I love geology. One of my favorite classes in college was geology. I wonder if it's okay to take that. That is such a beautiful piece. If I clean it and shine it up, it'd be as good as new. It could be maybe a paperweight or something. Beautiful. Oh, I got my braces. Yeah, that's the other thing. I took out my retainers. I do the Invisalign braces. Okay, let me take those out of my pocket. I'd put them in my hoodie pocket, but I'm going to put them in my other pocket. And I'm going to take this beautiful rock. Isn't it beautiful? Shine it up. Be good as a paperweight. I know this is in nature. It's on a nature trail. I don't know. Maybe one of you can comment. Excuse me. And if you say, oh, you know what, that's not something you can keep because it's part of the natural habitat, just let me know. And I'll be happy to bring it back. I just wanted to see if you guys knew anything about that. Maybe ChatGPT could help me. Anyway, I'm not going to crouch all the way down, but if you were to get far down, I got down in college, we had a pipe like that on my campus, and I thought, okay, I want to look at something to show perspective and show dimension and depth. And so I took a picture through a pipe like that, and I developed it myself because I learned how to use the developing chemicals. Dectol was one of them. There was another one called Microdol. I think Microdol was the one. This is kind of old school because not everybody does the darkroom anymore, but it was fun. It was such fun and reminiscent of a day gone by already. And I developed my own negatives. And, oh yeah, I want to remember that. That's another rabbit trail. It actually is cool because it's actually something I'm thankful for. It came from a show that I used to watch. Everybody Loves Raymond. Just a little snippet here. When Robert, his older brother, if you've ever seen the show Everybody Loves Raymond, where his brother Robert goes into an organization, a group. They called it a cult, but he was just more of a nature-loving type of a group, and they would wear flowery tropical shirts and so on. And he said that it's like photography. I use negatives to develop. And even though that was a funny show, I think that's a really valid point, that we use negatives in our lives. Look at that. To develop. Look at this spider web. You know, I'm not a fan of spiders because I certainly don't want to get bit, but isn't that something? It's very unique. Some of you might know what kind of spider web that is. Is that a wolf spider? Spider web? Obviously setting up a trap for its prey. But, ooh, I see like some kind of a rope thing. That's probably somebody put that there to plant grass seeds. Anyway, I hope you're having fun with this. There's another one. Oh, it almost looks like pieces of fiberglass. That would be an interruption to nature, I guess. Some more ferns. But yeah, so what I was saying is I took a picture through that tube, and it gave me a different perspective. And that's something else I'm grateful for, is that God lets us gain new perspective by looking at things through different angles and different windows in our lives. And so I don't know, it's going all over the place there. But just the beauty, see how it's great to just take time for yourself. Take time to relax. Take time to just to breathe deeply. Breathing exercises. Breathe in and then breathe out. Just take time. When you're anxious, doing a nature walk like this and doing deep breathing is such a powerful way to rest yourself without having to depend on just taking a pill. And I'm not knocking people that take medicines. If you're like me, you have come to this world of ASMR to find videos to help relax, calm, soothe. We hear so many noises, so many attacks, so many things that mess with our thinking and our self-esteem and our self-worth in the world. But just taking time to thank God, taking time to not clutter our minds in the morning, but just to take in God's beauty, His love, and just take moments to breathe. In fact, somebody I listened to talked about breathing in God's peace and breathe out blessing. And to say those things even. I breathe in peace. I breathe out touching the world around me. You know, that every breath of oxygen, inhaling and then exhaling that carbon dioxide, but still letting that be. We're a recipient, and we're also a channel of God's blessing to other people. It's just hard to be a channel all the time, and many of us are. We are expected to pour out and pour out and pour out, but we don't replenish. We don't take time for ourselves. For example, this morning, I have a business, and I like it. It's a wonderful business. It's helping people, and we do Zoom sessions several times a week. On Saturday mornings, we have a 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock training. And it's already right now, probably 9:30, 9:40 in the morning. And look where I am. Because I decided that there are days that you just got to take for yourself. And it's a Saturday. And I could have gotten up earlier, but I needed the rest, or I needed the time to relax and refresh. And sometimes just being on the computer all day and your life spinning it in front of a screen. Experts say, of course, it's not healthy to look into the blue light all day. It's also not always healthy for your joints to be sitting down all day, to be sedentary. And there's a place for it, but it's not something that we want to be doing all the time. We have to make time for ourselves. And the world will go on with or without us. But have we refreshed ourselves for our own sake and for the sake of those that we love, the people we serve? It's hard to be a servant when we don't have water in our well. I feel my phone vibrating. It was set for 30 minutes. I've already been out here that long. This video is, it's not quite 30 minutes, I didn't think, but Yeah. And that's what I really feel is important, is taking time to get refreshed, to get healthy, to breathe, to drink water. God gave us the perfect beverage. I have my water with me right now. I put a little lemon juice in it, maybe a lot. And it's good for the gut, it's good for the system. And it helps us to refocus, to get ourselves back into a place of life. And I'm probably rambling just a little bit here. Oh, I see another trail over here. Let's see where this leads. Not really sure. I think I just walked into a spider web. Yeah. Not sure where this leads, but we'll find out. It might be a dead end. Not sure. I think I may have been down this trail before. It may actually come out in the back of another neighborhood. But let's find out. So, as you can see, I'm up on a hill. I was down on the trail down below. I don't know if you can see it anymore. But I decided to climb up because my walk is getting a little long. But I'm coming up here behind the neighborhood. I try to be careful when I do take a shortcut to avoid having to retrace my steps. But I do sometimes try to find a place where I can come back in to a neighborhood. These are shared spaces in our neighborhood of trees. Isn't that beautiful? It's nature, God's nature, in the midst of a neighborhood. And I love it. So I'm coming back out to where I can get back on a trail, get back into regular neighborhoods, which I'm about to do, and I don't want to invade people's privacy. So I just wanted to share that with you today. It's probably not as long as my last video, but I wanted to share that with you about gratitude, being grateful to the Lord for everything that's in your life. I pause this for a second. I made it back into a neighborhood, and I'm just being careful not to get people's privacy invaded. It looks like without using a navigator, I found my way out. I think that's the way. There's a stop sign up ahead, but it's going to bring me out to the main part of the neighborhood. I love this part too because I could go ahead and get out the navigator, and I probably will, but I love exploring and be able to, like my older brother used to say, I found a new way home. And when he wasn't able to, let me just put this down here for a minute. Well, somebody's pulling out. Okay. So my brother, my older brother, when he was either learning to drive or he was out on a bike, my mom was like, "Where you been?" He's like, "I found a new way home." What he really meant was he got lost. But it was a nice perspective to say, yeah, I found a new way home. And sometimes we need that. We need to find a fresh way, a fresh path. But there's always one path that you never want to change, and that's the path that Jesus Christ gives you. The path to peace. He is the way to peace, and He is peace. And yeah, so there's a lot more I could say. I'm probably rambling a little bit, but I just wanted to share my morning with you, praying and wishing you God's perfect peace, His gratitude, and I see where I am. I'm actually on one of the main streets of my neighborhood. It actually leads up right to my house. So I'm going to take it. It's called Mohican. You can see Mohican he can drive. There you go. That's going to take me home. And you know what? When you follow God's peace, when you take time for yourself and focus on God, he's going to lead you on the road home. I love you guys. Have a blessed Saturday. See you the next time. Don't forget to comment below, hit the bell, and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with others. I'd love to read your comments. Share also ideas of other videos you'd like to hear. Have a blessed day.